Welcome back YouTubers to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're following me right now, I'm Aspie. I welcome you all with open arms, especially the newbies that has landed on my page today, and I'm hoping that from my wealth of knowledge versus my training and experiences of my life journey with the Spectrum syndrome, OCD and some other pre-diagnosing conditions that I go with in this territory of AS, that you'll find some pool of wisdom and wealth of knowledge as you journey with me, and that we learn something from each other today as I educate you all. It's been brought to my attention obviously that at this point of time I'm doing the Autism and series right now for now, even though I wanted to do some more mental health series based on some everyday topics that has been close to my heart to share with you all, but hopefully in due time I will be able to. So this one, as a disclaimer, as always, before I begin this, is I'm not a medical doctor. I'm just your normal everyday Joe vlogs, sharing my life stories with you all, regardless of what I go through in my everyday life. So if you see anything out of the ordinary, seek professional help for yourself or your loved one, or seek an opinion for yourself and loved ones, because I don't forever condone self-harm. So this one's obviously going to be Autism and series as mentioned. So this one's all about autism and video gaming, part 2, what the experts has to say about this. And I know I have obviously briefly touched based onto this one already, I think, which I humbly apologise, but I did more research on this one at the current time, even though there is a lot of research out there of certain, health factors, regardless what it may be it your mental health or general health, especially with what I'm doing. But this is how I roll, and hopefully with all that information intact we can actually get them to know what's what and how to address certain issues if there's any issues involved with it or what have you. So let's begin this. As we know, basically there has been a lot of wealth of information or evidence in regards to people on the spectrum, or especially young kids on the autism spectrum, that are learning from video games, as well as some of the digital technologies, apps, what have you, that has clearly advanced today than ever before. While kids has been diagnosed with autism spectrum disorders, they are undoubtedly drawn to video games, apps and other form of technology, regardless what it may be. There are, however, some skeptics still that ask themselves whether video games are good for children affected by this disorder. Researchers are starting to collect data and ask the many questions that video games maybe is good for children that is affected by autism, and to inform parents and educators about how to use technology to help best with the kids with autism spectrum disorders. Because as I said before, obviously that sometimes majority of the time that with video gaming, depending on the type of video gaming, it can be quite popular for people that are on the autism spectrum disorder or has autism or Asperger's syndrome and the like, in a way of obviously they may become obsessed in that form of game regardless, even though many people fear that for children that are on the autistic thing, depending on the time that's been played on these video games here, say that it will cause them to have communication delay and not be able to socialise with family and friends and whatever else it may be. But as we know, obviously at this point in time, however, the amount of time that they play games constantly will vary from every autistic child. However, despite that, in theory, they think that kids that are on that autism spectrum disorder may rage more out of the violent game, and maybe despite the mountains that they have in everyday life, regardless what it is, they might have more anger outbursts and become a violent person. But I'm going to hopefully talk more about autism and domestic violence later, or autism and anger later on in the piece. So if you want to watch some of that, please let me know. They may have a certain obsession, however, of a particular video game or video engineering of the game, be it if it's like fighting, first-person shooting. Some may want to do educational stuff, be it solving puzzles, mysteries, crimes, whatever. But in the past, most of the popular video games that has been brought out obviously as Pokemon versus your Zelda, Legends of Zelda or what have you, as well as also I hear about Minecraft. Just bear in mind though, when it comes down to video games, as a word of caution, that, you know, not all video games are video games in general. Some, as I said before, will be educational for the use of the person that is autistic or whatever. Sometimes also the relationship of a game, regardless of what the game is, has been clearly understood that people with autism are obsessed with video games. Many might be, and then within that obsession it will be hard to break out of it, as it can be potentially dangerous, or on another hand it could be a good form of obsession, depending. So some of the important findings that I have found that has been clearly illustrated, that is, you know, has shown about people on the autism spectrum disorder, and that has been shown that it is good by a variety of things. One, computers are an asset to academic performance, so therefore children with autism spectrum disorder can perform better on comparative versions of tests than on paper and pencil measures. For example, Sally Ozonoff and her colleagues found less repeated behaviour on the computerized versions of the Winskin card sorting test. Number 2, technologies improve attention. Kids that are affected by autism, however, as we know, sometimes have a slightly, what's the word I'm looking for, cognitive delay sometimes, or attention spans, similar to people on that are, you know, ADHD and stuff that has short attention span. So therefore, they may, you know, be significantly more attention motivated with a computer-assisted form of instruction. In this case, from this finding, Christina Wallen and her colleagues used the program TeachTown to improve language, communication skills, and social and emotional development. Obviously, another finding has been told was visual tools work best for kids with autism. As I said before, some people that are autistic are visual learners as well as tactile learners, so therefore many studies have shown that visual supports can improve task engagement, social interaction, and play skills. In the most part of the previous studies, however, visual supports took the form of static images. However, since 2000, Detmer and colleagues found using electronic versions of these supports to be very helpful. Again, another one is video games can teach social skills. Many people may scoff at me thinking, you're sure about that? Obviously, every autistic is different. Some autistic will get out of the shell and do socialise. It has been told, and Go and colleagues describe their strategies where games can improve socialisation skills for kids that are affected by autism. Most notable is the concept that therapeutic use of popular and therapeutic video games can be an excellent tool to practice and improve social comprehension to increase motivation and generalization of skills. Another one is 5. Games and apps have potential to reduce repetitive behaviour. As I said before, with people on that autism spectrum disorder, they tend to have repetitive behaviours. But in a recent article in the Games for Health Journal has described strategies for using popular games to improve flexible behaviour and adaptive skills. Another one you could clearly address is like for gaming especially, it could be a form of escaping from reality and a relaxation period for some children. As we know, basically, children with autism or ASD may have or may not have, depending on the child, have a higher chance of accessing to video games or equipment in their rooms. NCTS studies did a clinical study of children with autism and some without autism. Autistic children are more obsessed, however, as mentioned, and when you spend an extra hour a day on a particular video game. This has then led to believe it's a form of addiction, which I shared this topic already from memory. I suggest to check it out, which I will hopefully list it either in the description or up above there is an eye for you guys to look at. Another thing is on the report findings, ASD children that had more technology and equipment in room will obviously tend to, as I just mentioned, 1 hour a day. ASD children favour more role-playing games and the chance of shooting games than the normal neurotypicals. Some games may help children with autism and ASD with cognitive skills. The quality of behaviour and the wiring of the brains obviously will increase. Another form of it, as I said before, may help with interacting and socialising with their peers. Also, their cognitive behaviours will help support that. Access to greater paths that they may feel comfortable in doing exercise on their brain. There could be challenges of info and data, therefore, they'll be able to think. They'll look more relaxed and obviously enjoy other games. They'll become socially aware around their surroundings. Obviously, some of the video games may teach children life skills. It can be educational, fun, full of exercises and stuff, as some has shared, Just to bear in mind though, there has been some video games I used to play a long time ago, pretty much, even though I didn't obsess on them as much. Pac-Man, Minesweeper, Sonic the Hedgehog, Crash Bandicoot. It just, some car racing, some little bit of fighting of the Street Fighter one of that goes KO. I can't remember what it's called. Is it Street Fighter? You guys list it below for me. Sometimes I like some of those, and then sometimes I like the other one that I was playing of the golf one that I used to have on my phone. I can't remember what it's really called, but it's golf and versus my other one for playing pool, 8 ball, what have you. But just to bear in mind though, to end this, while there is the need for more research about the impact of technology on children that is affected by autism, there is also great promise in this area that is actually evolving every day of this video gaming and autism research. There are also legitimate concerns, however, about the tendency of some children with autism to overuse technology. So parents and educators need to proceed with caution. Ongoing research and the creation of new screen-based technologies to help kids with autism will be important in the near future, even though they are now doing this for certain apps and certain, technological devices, be it your cell phone, tablet, or whatever we're using. So, therefore, we need to bear that in mind. So, this quickly ends part 2 of the autism and video gaming part 2, what the experts has to say. Give me a like for a thumbs up, just comment below, feel free to share these videos around, feel free to follow me on my social media sites if you haven't done so. Feel free to, if you want to get to know me more and follow me on my journey, subscribe to my channel as well as turning on the notification bell for new weekly, hopefully, updates, even though I've been away as of late. So thanks for your support, thanks for watching, do what you love what you do. Until next time, Aspie signing out, and I'll see you again soon. Ciao. Research and the creation